And Boker Tov, good morning. It's wonderful to be here together on this lovely Tuesday morning. It's wonderful and safe to be here. I hope everyone is going to be careful today as the weather is supposed to be a bit harsh starting midday. But to one, to all, Boker Tov, welcome to Boker Tov from Temple Sinai, Temple Sinai Congregation of Toronto's daily opportunity to connect, to reflect, and to remember. I'm Rabbi Michael Dolgan, and it's a pleasure to be here with you this morning. Good morning, Deborah and Eleanor, and to Alan and each of you and all of you as we gather here together on this Tuesday morning to really use the tradition of our people to help us find a place to begin, both the ancient tradition and the modern tradition, sharing a poem by a writer, Rich Orloff, today. And but before we get to things modern, let's turn to things modern and ancient. Our people's poem for the physical movements and actions of the body, the wonder when things work the way we need them to work. Please join me in the Hebrew and the English. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher yetzar et ha'adam bechokma, uvarah vo nekavim nekavim, chalulim chalulim, galui v'yadua lifnei chisech vodecha, she'im yipatech echad mehem, o yisatem echad mehem, אי אפשר להתקיים ולעמוד לפניך. ברוך אתה אדוני, רופא כל בשר, umafli la'asot. Blessed eternal God, creator of the universe, you have fashioned our bodies with wisdom, creating within us a finely balanced network. To stand before you in prayer is itself a fragile miracle. Eternal God, we praise you as the healer of body and spirit. And let's join together in the prayer for the soul, that beautiful spirit that is in us, but that never leaves the presence of God, but is that ongoing dynamic connection between us and the Holy One. The soul that you have given me, O God, is a pure one. You have created and formed it, breathed it into me, and within me you sustain it. So long as my soul is within me, I will give thanks to you, eternal my God and God of my ancestors, source of all creation, sovereign of all souls. We praise you, eternal God, in whose hand is the power of all life and the spirit of all flesh. And let's join together for the privilege of learning and studying Torah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. V'arev na Adonai Eloheinu et divrei Toratcha b'finu, ובפי עמך בית ישראל, ונהיה אנחנו וצאצאינו, וצאצאי עמך בית ישראל, כולנו יודעי שמך, ולומדי תורתך לשמה. ברוך אתה אדוני, המלמד תורה על עמו ישראל. אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור. These are the obligations whose value cannot be measured. They nourish us in this world and help us to create the world to come. Kibud av va'em, to honor fathers and mothers. Ugmilut chasadim, to perform acts of love and kindness. Vashkamat bet midrash shacharit v'yarovi, to attend the house of study morning and evening. Vachnasat ochim, to welcome the stranger. Uvikul cholim, to visit the sick. Vahachnasat kala, to provide for brides and grooms. Udvayat hamed, to keep faith with the dead. V'yun tefillah, to pray with sincerity. V'hava'at shalom ben adam l'chavero, to make peace when there is strife. V'talmud Torah keneged kulam, and the study of Torah is equal to them all. Please join me in our Birchot HaShachar, in the blessings of the dawn, allowing the reality, the possibilities of the new day to dawn upon us, as well as the responsibilities of the new day, of who we are, expressed in the first four blessings, and then how we might partner with God, especially as we reach the next page and hear the prayer Matir Asurim, setting free the captive. We think of Ran Gvili, the last of the hostages whose body is still being held in Gaza, and pray that his release might lead to a better time for his family somehow. Let's join in the first prayer, half Hebrew, half English, and then Hebrew for the second one, and alternating as we go. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam. You have given the rooster the natural wisdom to distinguish day from night. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani b'tzalmenu kidmutenu. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam. You have given me free will. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam. You have helped me provide for my needs. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, pokeach ivrim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, you clothe the naked. Again. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, matir asurim. And now let's repeat. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, you release those who are held captive. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, you help those who are bowed to stand straight. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, roka haaretz al hamayim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, you guide each person's steps. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, ozer Yisrael b'gvura. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, you crown Israel with glory. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hanoten layav koach. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. You remove sleep from my eyes and weariness from my eyelids. And as we thank God for awakening in every sense, we turn to the words of Shema Yisrael, these words of unity, these words that remind us to be edim, to be witnesses, to bring all of our moach, our mind, mem and chet of Shema and Echad, and all of our ish, aleph echad, and shin of shema, all of our enthusiasm, so that our entire selves might testify to the unity of the world and to God. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavecha uvechol nafshecha uvechol meodecha. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל ואמרת עליהם, ויעשו להם ציצית על כנפי בגדיהם לדורותם. ונתנו על ציצית הכנף בתיר תכלת, והיה לכם לציצית, וראיתם אותו. וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני, ועשיתם אותם. ולא תטו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם, אשר אתם זונים אחריהם, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. אדוני אלוהיכם, אמת. Well, on this beautiful, if potentially weather-challenged day, so much for us to see and do and think about. And we tend, as with the weather, to be so affected by our everyday surroundings, and that affect is real. And at the same time, it's a good time for us as we gather together in the morning to look beyond our own experience and to do so by what it is we've learned, having finished the book of Genesis. The word Yisrael is all about. It is about us grappling with the divine. Certainly easier said than done. And so today I'd like to share poem by Rich Orloff about grappling, about this challenge. I'll share the poem and then share a few words about it and then share it again. And I hope you'll find some interesting thoughts in it as I do. A psalm about grappling. Grapple with me, says God. I do not ask you to believe in me or extol me or worship me. These are orders humans have decreed. But grapple with me. Would you feel you lived if you had never seen the color blue and you had a chance? Would you feel you lived if you had never heard music and you had a chance? I offer you this opportunity to grapple with me. And if you don't know how to start, ask questions. What are my dimensions? Where do I reside? What are my office hours? Ask patiently. Then ask again. Ask a third time just for fun. Ask a fourth time just in case. And a fifth time so asking can become a habit. Please, grapple with me. I may not provide the answers you wish for, but if you let me, I will show you the colors and sounds you've missed. I like the idea of asking so it becomes a habit. Asking is something we can choose to do from time to time, but if we make it a practice, then it leads to a life of curiosity, something I think that is valuable spiritually and in every other way. And it's not about asking questions so God can answer. It's about asking that leads us to experience the world in a more profound way. Even the questions that he suggests that we ask of God, what are your dimensions? Where do you reside? What are your office hours? I think these are really saying, what's the nature of God? How much is God in contact with us or our world? And is God present to us? And in what way? I think those are all possible, primarily if we grapple and ask questions. So let's take a moment with the first half on the screen, and then I'll share the psalm again. A psalm about grappling. Grapple with me, says God. I do not ask you to believe in me or extol me or worship me. These are orders humans have decreed. But grapple with me. Would you feel you lived if you had never seen the color blue and you had a chance? Would you feel you lived if you had never heard music and you had a chance? I offer you this opportunity to grapple with me. And if you don't know how to start, ask questions. What are my dimensions? Where do I reside? What are my office hours? Ask patiently, then ask again. Ask a third time just for fun. Ask a fourth time just in case. Ask a fifth time so asking can become a habit. Please, grapple with me. I may not provide the answers you wish for, but if you let me, I will show you the colors and sounds you've missed. I hope that we can find a way today to experience that sense of grappling, that willingness to ask the questions that don't have answers, so that we might be open to new possibilities. Saying a prayer for the soldiers of the IDF is something that does that for me, after all, as someone who grew up in a very privileged way, never having to wear a uniform or put my life physically at risk for others. I can ask and grapple with the idea of what it means for young people far away to do that, knowing that one of the best beneficiaries is someone like me. So let's join together in this prayer for their safety and for the hope that through the evolutions in our world, that this experience might be less necessary and the world might be a more safe place for all. מי שברך אבותינו אברהם יצחק ויעקב אמותינו שרה רבקה לאה ורחל הוא יברך את חיילי צבא ההגנה לישראל ושאר מגיני עמנו העומדים על משמרתם. ישמרם הקדוש ברוך הוא ויצילם מכל צרה וצוקה ומכל נגע ומחלה, וישלח ברכה בכל מעשה ידיהם, ויקוים בהם הכתוב, וכיתתו חרבותיהם לעתים, וחניתותיהם למזמרות, לא יישאו גוי לגוי חרב, ולא ימדון עוד מלחמה, וישבו איש תחת גפנו, ותחת תאנתו, ואין מחריד ונאמר, Amen. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless the soldiers of the IDF and all who stand on guard for us. May the Holy One guard them against all difficulty and distress, injury, and illness. May all of their actions bring blessing, fulfilling the prophet's words. Let them beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Let nation not lift up sword against nation, and may they learn war no more. May all sit under a vine or fig tree, with none to make them afraid. And together we say, Amen. Well, we say a prayer for those whose challenges we may not know or understand, but we also say a prayer for those who we may not even be aware of their challenges, but we stand together with our people everywhere and acknowledge them as Achenu v'Achiotenu, our brothers and sisters, as we join together in these words. Achenu kol bet Yisrael, Achiotenu kol bet Yisrael, הנתונים בצרה ובשביה, עומדים בין בים ובין ביבשה, המקום ירחם עליהם, ויוציאם מצרה לרווחה, ומאפלה לאורה, ומשעבוד לגאולה, השתה בעגלה ובזמן קריב, ונאמר, Amen. Our brothers and sisters, the whole family of Israel who are in difficulty or captivity, whether on land or at sea, may the ever-present one have mercy on them, bringing them out from distress to comfort and from darkness to light, from subjugation to redemption, now, quickly, and soon. And we say together, Amen. And as this part of the service is about each of our experiences and those of others, we know that those who are ill or isolated or injured or unwell, our goal, just as in the grappling poem, is not to understand their circumstances, but to interact with them, to be curious, to hear, and to connect. And so for all those who are experiencing difficulty or distress, for those names that have been given to me and given to Temple, for those whose names have been placed in the chat in this or in other services, for all who are in need, we turn to these words of refuah. מי שבירך אבותינו אברהם, יצחק ויעקב, ואמותינו שרה, רבקה, לאה ורחל, הוא ירפא את כל מכותינו. יהי רצון מלפניך אדוני אלוהינו, לחל עמם לרפאותם, וישלח לנו מהרה רפואה שלמה, ותרד שלום ונאמר, Amen. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless and heal all who suffer. May it be the divine will to provide healing and strength. Reveal to us the holiness of life, the wholeness of shalom, and let us say together, Amen. Well, it's a very meaningful way to start the day, to be together with you, to connect and to reflect. And now, equally meaningfully, we take time to remember, recalling those who died in recent days and weeks, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have taken into our hearts with our own. During the period of Shloshim, the past 30 days, we extend our condolences to the families of Jackie Becker, Lorraine Himmelfarb, Matthew Chris, Shayla Cole, Sadie Shafitz, Larry Marr, Irving Starr, Joel Rutenberg. And we also remember all victims of war and terror, including terror victims Matilda Britvan, Edith Brotman, Dan El-Kayam, Doris Gorman, Sophia Gorman, Alexander Clayton, Rabbi Yaakov Levitan, Peter Marzo-Meager, Reuven Morrison, Marika Pogani, Rabbi Eli Schlanger, Adam Smith, Boris Tetleroyd, Tanya Tretiak, Tibor Waitzen. And on Yahrzeit, on the anniversary of their deaths, on the 17th day of the month of Tevet, the 6th of January, 2026, we honor the life and legacy on Yahrzeit of Edith Abramson, Mira Adler, Marshall Alexander, Arno Altman, Sheila Arbisman, Deborah Frank Derlick, Martin Friedberg, Marty, Celia Frimmett, Rama Joseph, Melvin Merker, Manuel Seligman. Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be a blessing to us. Our griefs and our sympathies are mingled as we turn together to words sanctified by memory, words glorified by hope, the words of Kaddish Yetom. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemeh rabba, ve'alma divra chiruteh ve'yamlich malchuteh, v'chayechon v'yamechon, v'chaye dechol bet Yisrael, v'agala u'vizman kari v'mu, amen. Yehesh meraba mevarach le'alam ul'almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitrumam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemed kudsha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tishbechata v'nechemata damiran v'alma v'mu. Amen. Yehesh lama rabba min shmaya v'chayim Alenu ve'al kol Yisrael v'mu. Amen. Oseh shalom v'mumav v'yaseh shalom Alenu ve'al kol Yisrael v'mu. Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and bring comfort and strength to all who remember. And together we say, Amen. Well, Temple is grateful for all those who support our work. Today, a contribution has been made to the annual campaign for tzedakah by the Friedberg family, observing Yahrzeit for Martin Friedberg. And I hope today can be a meaningful and a beautiful day for each of us and for all of us. If it does get icy, please be safe out there. Boker